It is wonderful to be here, but frankly, it is a warm day for Howard County. Even if not in temperature, it's in us coming together and supporting agricultural and farming. Since reopening the Agricultural Land Preservation Program, or ALP, in 2019, we've invested more than $12 million in easements to preserve over 360 acres of prime agricultural land. This is the land that provides us with our fresh fruits and vegetables, the dairy and protein that fill our plates, the grains, the hay that feed our livestock, and the space for horses and other livestock to roam. The Winkler Farm, where we stand here this morning, is a 56-acre farm that will soon be permanently preserved. And this investment will ensure Howard County's thriving agricultural economy remains for generations to come. After nearly a year of discussion, scoring, evaluation, legislative process, and contract work, we expect to close on this easement later on this month. And I'm so honored that the Winklers have welcomed us to their property today for this event. Thank you so much for your hospitality. Your commitment to agricultural preservation is a shining light for Howard County. And Howard County continues to lead by investing directly in our farm operations through innovative grant programs that help growers embrace new technology and practices that make them more productive and better stewards of their land. Whether it's our agricultural grant for innovation or expansion, or AGGI, administered by the Economic Development Authority, or our Soil Conservation District Best Management Practice Implementation Funds, or our new enhanced agricultural grant created in 2023, we are committed to directly funding farmers and agriculture supporting organizations. We lead by promoting our farms with direct marketing and distribution because we understand that farming isn't just a way of life. It is a business that supports economic development. Our award-winning Roving Radish program takes local produce from farms here in the West and distributes it to households across our great county. Our We Are HOCO Fresh marketing campaign is continuing to raise awareness for producers in our community and encourage our neighbors to buy local. Howard County now leads by listening to our producers and bringing resources to the businesses we serve. Just 3 months ago, we announced the creation of an Office of Agriculture, only the third of its kind in the state of Maryland. This new office will consolidate the many disparate farm-serving functions in Howard County under one roof right here in our rural West. My proposed FY25 budget demonstrates a continued commitment to agriculture that crosses agencies and that will leave a lasting impact for years to come. For the first time since 2013, we will infuse new funding into our agricultural land preservation program to acquire new easements that preserve farmland forever. And I'm excited to share that our budget includes $15 million through ALP to continue our leadership in farm conservation. This investment will be coupled with updated easement term options that we adopted at the end of 2023. These new terms create the flexibility to allow property owners to select the interest rate, contract length, or down payment option that meets their financial objectives and saves another farm. The Winklers are the first property owners to join ALP under these new flexible terms, and we are hopeful that this easement will inspire others to follow. We will remain a leader in direct support to our farmers with a sustained $100,000 investment in Aggie Grants program, which provides up to $20,000 for research and development, production buildings, major fixtures, and other investments through our Economic Development Authority. Last year, we provided $200,000 in funding to our Soil Conservation District's Best Management Practice Implementation Grants program. These dollars have been a game changer for many growers who want to do the right thing by the land and by our future, but don't necessarily have the resources to invest in their property. Hearing the advocacy of our Agricultural Preservation Board, and thank you so much for your service, we will build upon the success of this grant program to create a new revolving loan program to help farmers bridge the financing gap on these projects with an infusion of $250,000 of new funding. A few weeks ago, we announced the 7 awardees of the FY24 Enhanced Agricultural Grant Program, which we kicked off with a $250,000 investment last year. These investments span from equipment purchase to educational programming and operational enhancements for greater productivity. On the recommendation of our Ag Pres Board, my FY25 proposed budget will double this investment of grants to $500,000. Farms are not singular self-sustaining operations. Each is a part of a broader ecosystem of individuals, families, and businesses that serve and support each other in a myriad of ways. Investments in our farms as a multiplier effect right here in our community. Every dollar we use to sustain and grow our operations also lifts the people and companies who support our farms. I'm excited to roll out our long-anticipated Roving Radish mobile market van later this spring. Thank you, James and team. This van will allow us to bring more fresh local produce directly to communities around our county. And this will provide yet another outlet for our local farmers to sell their produce in an easy, profitable way. With the support of Councilman Youngman, who you'll hear from later, and the rest of our county council, the legal structure of our new Office of Agriculture received legislative approval earlier this month. Our FY 2025 budget will soon invest about $450,000 to staff and launch this exciting new office, which we intend to locate right down the road at West Friendship Park. To help us envision a new future for the Park of Agriculture Education Program, we created a 23-member advisory group, which will embark on its public process beginning in April. I'm thankful to the many representatives from our agricultural community who have agreed to contribute their time and their talents and their thoughts in this process. Now, today is National Agriculture Day, a day to honor the contributions of our farmers and farming to our past, present, and futures. Thank you for the food that nourishes our families and our souls. Thank you for the value-added products that grace our store shelves, and thank you for honoring and protecting and investing in our land, which sustains our community and our economy. In the spirit of appreciation, I have a proclamation, but in the spirit of respect for your time, I'm not going to read it. It actually proclaims today National Agricultural Day. So act like I read the best proclamation ever. Bless you and bless this land.
Welcome everybody to District 5, to Woodbine. I'm not sure who checks the weather for these things. I think it's Brian. Look, I don't want to go through all the same stuff that the county executive just did. Just in the last 2 years, there's been measurable progress in things that the ag community's been asking for, as needed. There's funding behind it. We're all excited about the Office of Agriculture, which is going to have new positions and new funding attached to it. It's not just a reorganization. I think a lot of you are going to be on the work group. Some of you are going to be on the work group for the Ag Center. All these grant programs that we've piloted are still in existence. We're keeping them. Some are getting some additional funding. But we are out here to talk about putting this land into ag preservation. And while we talk a lot about a lot of the hybrid businesses and agriculture as a business and things, it's kind of apropos to recognize the Winklers and Patrick families that have been doing this for a long time and are part of the real community fabric here. Their kids have been raised here on these farms. They've gone to school here. They're involved in everything, whether it's agriculture stuff or just Western Howard County community stuff. Rhonda's kids are my kids' age, but you still doing junior showmanship?
Yep.
So she's still got the 82 little kids that are too young to like show animals, like to be in 4-H yet, and she's got them out there herding them around, and it's yes, we're putting a farm in Ag Pres, but we're also making another connection to true farmers that every day are investing in this Western Howard County agriculture community and just the overall community. So thank you all for being here.
So as you guys can see here, these budget items, it's an exciting time here for Howard County agriculture. I'm privileged to work with this community that is so integral to the fabric of Howard County. It is vital we have elected officials that listen to our agriculture community to understand their needs and challenges. Many of our officials have limited experience with agriculture, and to serve our farmers, they need to take the time to listen to them. County Executive Dr. Calvin Ball has taken the time to listen to our agriculture community, and better yet, he has taken action to address their needs and concerns. This year, the Agricultural Preservation Board made several recommendations to the County Executive for his FY25 budget, with a majority of them incorporated. In FY24, the agriculture community recommended the creation of the Enhanced Agricultural Grant. The County Executive, Dr. Calvin Ball, funded the new program with $250,000. The first year of this grant program, we received 17 applicants with over $1.9 million in requests and awarded 7 applicants using all $250,000 of the funding. The sheer volume of the applicants and the total amount of funds requested exhibits the need for this grant program. The County Executive's FY25 budget will double the Enhanced Agricultural Grants funding to $500,000, helping meet the needs of our agriculture community and funding more projects to move agriculture forward in Howard County. I want to thank the Agricultural Preservation Board for supporting this program and the Howard County Economic Development Authority for being our partner in distributing this grant. The Howard County Office of Agriculture is moving forward, and we are eager to connect all our agricultural supporting agencies under one roof. In FY25 will be an important and busy year for the new office. We will be building a team for the office, assessing all our programs to find better ways to improve them, researching new programs, and setting up the office to serve the agriculture community in the most effective way. Finally, I would like to thank County Executive Dr. Calvin Ball for his support of agriculture. He has shown his support through his budgets, as well as listening and responding to our agricultural community. I would also like to thank the Howard County agricultural community, the Howard County Council, Howard County Farm Bureau, all the agencies and departments that support Howard County agriculture, and the Howard County Agricultural Preservation Board for their vision and continued advocacy for agriculture. We have an exciting year ahead of us, so thank you very much.
I want to talk just for a second about conservation. The Soil Conservation District here in Howard County was founded in 1945 by a group of local farmers that realized that conservation of our soil, water, and other natural resources was critical to our future. This makes sense because most of us recognize that farmers were really the first conservationists. No one is closer to the land or cares more about the soil's ability to sustain us and our lives than farmers. Never has our mission of conservation been more relevant than today. With the focus on protecting our local streams and restoring the Chesapeake Bay, the interest in soil health and urban agriculture, and the challenges of climate change, food deserts, changing consumer demand, the list goes on and on. And I want to give you a little perspective from 1945 to now. A lot of things have changed. One thing that's still the same is the importance of conservation and the dedication that Howard County farmers have to not only protecting our resources, but also feeding us all. In 1945, approximately 17% of the population was involved in agricultural production. Now that's less than 2%. Back then, most people knew their local farmers. Now people think food comes from the grocery store. In 1945, the number of horses and mules used for farming outnumbered tractors by about 6 to 1. Even though the percentage of farmers has declined steadily since 1945, the productivity has skyrocketed. For example, corn production has increased over 360% on considerably less land. And in 1945, the world was just emerging from a devastation of World War II. And nothing was more vital then, or now, to our national security interest than agriculture. And farmers provided food security for our nation and people around the world. While many things have changed since 1945, some things have stayed consistent, like Howard County farmers being leaders in the conservation of our natural resources. So today, I'd like to thank the Agricultural Preservation Board first for their vision to provide additional funding specifically for the implementation of conservation practices on farms here in Howard County. I also want to thank the County Executive, Dr. Ball, for all of his support and the funding in his budget. I also want to thank Councilman David Youngman. He was a big advocate for this additional funding. I don't know if that's because it was mostly coming to his district or just because he cares a lot about agriculture, but whatever the reason, we appreciate it, right? Nowhere else in the state right now can a farmer get as much financial support for their conservation efforts as they can right here in Howard County. There's never been a better time to implement conservation in Howard County. So please, if you have anything in mind to do, you got something you've been thinking about, it's been putting it off, this is the time now to put that conservation on the ground. In closing, on National Agriculture Day, I'd like to give my greatest thanks to the farmers here in Howard County because the demand for this program and the funding for conservation has been extraordinary. It even exceeded what we anticipated. So it's a testament to our farmers' commitment to stewardship and their dedication to conserving our natural resources for future generations. So thanks to the farmers on Ag Day.
Good morning, everyone, and happy first day of spring and happy National Ag Day. What a more fitting place to be than on the Winkler family farm. And on behalf of the Department of Planning and Zoning, I want to thank the family for continuing their tradition of farming by placing this beautiful property under easement. So I wouldn't be a planner and the planning director if I didn't mention HOCO by Design. And because of these types of efforts, our agricultural land preservation program is a model of success for resource conservation and smart growth principles. This is strengthened in the General Development Plan, which calls for continuing our land acquisition program while building on existing efforts to assist the agricultural community to grow and diversify. To carry forward this long tradition of preserving ag land in perpetuity, a $15 million authorization for continued agricultural preservation easement acquisitions will help Howard County continue to lead not only in '24, but for many years to come. By protecting farms, we are ensuring a space for continued crop and livestock production needed to feed our residents and fuel a diversified economy. I'm going to leave you with 3 fun facts that the Howard County Agricultural Land Preservation Program has been purchasing agricultural easements since 1984, so exactly 40 years this year. And as of today, there are over 23,100 acres preserved through the county and state agricultural land preservation programs. Approximately 49% of the land in the rural West is protected through various easements, parks, and open space. A huge accomplishment given the competing pressure of the land for development over the past 4 decades. And finally, there are approximately 3,000 acres remaining that are eligible for the Ag Land Preservation Program in Howard County. So there's still plenty of work to be done, and the county remains committed to continuing these efforts. The Department of Planning and Zoning is excited to be part of this program and rich agricultural heritage in the county. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. Today is a day to recognize and celebrate the abundance provided by agriculture on National Agriculture Day. At Economic Development, agriculture is one of our priorities, and we value the essential role of agriculture in maintaining a strong economy. And that's true because you are our 5th largest economic driver in the county. I consider it a privilege to serve as a liaison to the agriculture community for economic development. Since 2012, we have been providing agriculture grants for innovation and expansion, for up to $20,000 to allow farms to develop, grow, and move in a totally new direction. And with the newly created Office of Agriculture, I look forward to working alongside the Office of Community Sustainability, the Department of Planning and Zoning, and the University of Maryland Extension to continue our mission. The food we enjoy at our tables exists because of the dedication of our farmers. Thank you, County Executive Ball, for your funding and your initiatives. Let's continue to work together to support our farms and farm-related industries. Thank you.
We had snow at the Ag Park. Now we had snow this morning here. Maybe it'll stop soon. I want to start out by saying thank you to Dr. Calvin Ball for hearing funding priorities from the board. We have done a lot of stuff in the last 2 years that we were like, maybe it'll go, maybe it won't. Calvin has made almost everything we've sent to him happen, which is a real big deal. The EAG grants, new soil conservation BMP loans are exciting opportunities to support our producers. We're excited about the future of the Office of Agriculture and working closely with a new team to promote farming here in Howard County. As a farmer, I look forward to being able to drive up the road to speak to somebody about an issue instead of having to drive into Ellicott City or Columbia. The great thing is I farm on both sides of 32, so I can stop in with the tractor on the way there, so I don't have to drive the tractor to Ellicott City. Again, I'd like to thank Calvin Ball for everything you've done for us.
I would like to thank Dr. Ball and the county administration for their continued support for farming and agriculture in Howard County. As the Howard County Farm Bureau president, as well as a member of the Howard County Agricultural Land Preservation Board, the proposed agriculture budget priorities that have been outlined today, including grant programs, loans, support for the roving radish, as well as continued funding for the land preservation easement program, give me hope for a healthy future for farming in Howard County. Farmers work hard year-round to ensure this country has all the food, fuel, and fiber it needs, all while being responsible stewards of the land. Farming is a tough business, but it's our way of life. Investments to help sustain the future of agriculture, like the one shared today by Dr. Ball, will help farm families like the Winkler family and others around the county to pass our legacy on to the next generation. In closing, on this chilly National Ag Day, I would like to leave you with a good reminder from one of my favorite quotes. At least once in your life, you will need a doctor, a lawyer, a policeman, and a preacher. But every day, 3 times a day, you will need a farmer. Dr. Ball, thank you again for all you continue to do to support agriculture in Howard County.
Welcome to our little paradise here in Western Howard County, where we have been blessed with the opportunity to continue farming on this piece of property once owned by the Bowman family, where Mr. Robbie Bowman once milked cows in the 50s and my father AI'd his cows in the late 50s. Generational farming is the passing of the farm to the next generation. My husband and I plan to do that with our children, but I feel here at the Bowman farm, is what we call this farm, we are partially continuing the legacy of the Bowman family. My father grew up with the Bowmans, I grew up with the Bowmans and showed in 4-H with them, and my kids showed in 4-H with some of the Bowman descendants. So even though we have different last names, the pride and dedications to be stewards of the land God has blessed us with will continue with the Winkler and the Bowman family. Thank you to Howard County Land Preservation, County Executive Calvin Ball, and all those who are part of this great program to continue farming in Howard County, allowing us to continue the legacy of farming here in Western Howard County. Agriculture is alive and well in Howard County, and we are blessed. Thank you all, and have a blessed day.